eastern shore of the Lake of Lucerne, rugged and singularly shaped rocks close the prospect to the west. The lake is agitated, violent roaring and rushing of wind, with thunder and lightning at intervals. Coons of Jersau, fisherman and boy. Coons. I saw it with these eyes. Believe me, friend, it happened all precisely as I've said. Fisherman. Tell, made a prisoner, and borne off to Quesnacht? The best man in the land, the bravest arm, had we resolved to strike for liberty. Coons. The viceroy takes him up the lake in person. They were about to go on board, as I left Flolen, but still the gathering storm, that drove me here to land so suddenly, perchance has hindered their abrupt departure. Fisherman. Are Tell in chains, and in the viceroy's power. Oh, trust me, Gessler will entomb him where he never more shall see the light of day, for, till once free, the tyrant well may dread the just revenge of one so deep incensed. Coons. The old Landemann, to von Ettinghaus, they say, is lying at the point of death. Fisherman. Then the last anchor of our hopes gives way. He was the only man who dared to raise his voice in favor of the people's rights. Coons. The storm grows worse and worse. So, fare ye well. I'll go and seek out quarters in the village. There's not a chance of getting off today. Exit. Fisherman. Tell dragged to prison, and the baron dead. Now, tyranny, exalt thy insolent front, throw shame aside. The voice of truth is silenced, the eye that watched for us in darkness closed, the arm that should have struck thee down in chains. Boy. 'Tis hailing hard, come, let us to the cottage, this is no weather to be out in, father. Fisherman. Rage on, ye winds. Ye lightnings, flash your fires. Burst, ye swollen clouds. Ye cataracts of heaven, descend, and drown the country. In the germ, destroy the generations yet unborn. Ye savage elements, be lords of all. Return, ye bears, ye ancient wolves, return to this wide, howling waste. The land is yours. Who would live here when liberty is gone? Boy. Hark! How the wind whistles and the whirlpool roars, I never saw a storm so fierce as this. Fisherman. To level at the head of his own child. Never had father such command before. And shall not nature, rising in wild wrath, revolt against the deed? I should not marvel, though to the lake these rocks should bow their heads, though yonder pinnacles, yon towers of ice, that, since creation's dawn, have known no thaw, should, from their lofty summits, melt away, though yonder mountains, yon primeval cliffs, should topple down, and a new deluge whelm beneath its waves all living men's abodes. Bells heard. Boy. Hark! They are ringing on the mountain yonder. They surely see some vessel in distress, and toll the bell that we may pray for it. Ascends a rock. Fisherman. Woe to the bark that now pursues its course, rocked in the cradle of these storm-tossed waves. Nor helm nor steersman here can aught avail, the storm is master. Man is like a ball, tossed twixt the winds and billows. Far, or near, no haven offers him its friendly shelter. Without one ledge to grasp, the sheer, smooth rocks look down inhospitably on his despair, and only tender him their flinty breasts. Boy, calling from above. Father, a ship, and bearing down from Flolen. Fisherman. Heaven pity the poor wretches. When the storm is once entangled in this strait of ours, it rages like some savage beast of prey, struggling against its cage's iron bars. Howling, it seeks an outlet all in vain, for the rocks hedge it round on every side, walling the narrow pass as high as heaven. He ascends a cliff. Boy. It is the governor of Uri's ship, by its red poop I know it, and the flag. Fisherman. Judgments of heaven. Yes, it is he himself. It is the governor. Yonder he sails, and with him bears the burden of his crimes. Soon has the arm of the avenger found him, now over him he knows a mightier lord. These waves yield no obedience to his voice, these rocks bow not their heads before his cap. Boy, do not pray, stay not the judge's arm. Boy. I pray not for the governor, I pray for Tell, who is on board the ship with him. Fisherman. Alas, ye blind, unreasoning elements! Must ye, in punishing one guilty head, destroy the vessel and the pilot too? Boy. See, they've cleared the Buggeskrat, but now the blast, rebounding from the Devil's Minster, has driven them back on the great Axenberg. I cannot see them now. Fisherman. The Hackmesser is there, that's foundered many a gallant ship. If they should fail to double that with skill, their bark will go to pieces on the rocks that hide their jagged peaks below the lake. They have on board the very best of pilots, if any man can save them, Tell is he, but he is manacled, both hand and foot. Enter Wilhelm Tell, with his crossbow. He enters precipitately, looks wildly round, and testifies the most violent agitation. When he reaches the center of the stage, he throws himself upon his knees, and stretches out his hands, first towards the earth, then towards heaven. Boy, observing him. See, father. Who is that man, kneeling yonder? Fisherman. He clutches at the earth with both his hands, and looks as though he were beside himself. Boy, advancing. What do I see? Father, come here, and look. Fisherman approaches. Who is it? God in heaven. What? Wilhelm Tell, how came you hither? Speak, Tell. Boy. Were you not in yonder ship, a prisoner, and in chains? Fisherman. Were they not bearing you away to Quesnacht? Tell, rising. I am released. Fisherman and boy. Released, O miracle! Boy. Whence came you here? Tell. From yonder vessel. Fisherman. What? Boy. Where is the viceroy? Tell. Drifting on the waves. Fisherman. Is't possible? But you. How are you here? How scaped you from your fetters and the storm? Tell. By God's most gracious providence. Attend. Fisherman and boy. Say on, say on. Tell. You know what passed at Altdorf? Fisherman. I do, say on. Tell. How I was seized and bound, and ordered by the governor to Quesnacht. Fisherman. And how with you at Flullen he embarked. All this we know. Say, how have you escaped? Tell. I lay on deck, fast bound with cords, disarmed, in utter hopelessness. I did not think again to see the gladsome light of day, nor the dear faces of my wife and children, and I disconsolate the waste of waters. Fisherman. Oh, wretched man! Tell. Then we put forth, the Viceroy, Rudolf der Harris, and their suite. My bow and quiver lay astern beside the helm, and just as we had reached the corner, near the little Axen 24, heaven ordained it so, that from the Gotthard's gorge a hurricane swept down upon us with such headlong force that every rower's heart within him sank, and all on board looked for a watery grave. Then heard I one of the attendant train, turning to Gessler, in this strain accost him, "You see our danger, and your own, my lord, and that we hover on the verge of death. The boatmen there are powerless from fear, nor are they confident what course to take. Now, here is Tell, a stout and fearless man, and knows to steer with more than common skill. How if we should avail ourselves of him in this emergency?" The viceroy then addressed me thus: "If thou wilt undertake to bring us through this tempest safely, Tell, I might consent to free thee from thy bonds." I answered, "Yes, my lord, with God's assistance, I'll see what can be done, and help us heaven." On this they loosed me from my bonds, and I stood by the helm and fairly steered along, yet ever eyed my shooting gear askance, and kept a watchful eye upon the shore, to find some point where I might leap to land. And when I had descried a shelving crag, that jutted, smooth atop, into the lake. Fisherman. I know it. 'Tis at foot of the great Axon, but looks so steep, I never could have dreamed 'twere possible to leap it from the boat. Tell. I bade the men put forth their utmost might, until we came before the shelving crag. For there, I said, the danger will be past. Stoutly they pulled, and soon we neared the point. One prayer to God for his assisting grace, and straining every muscle, I brought round the vessel's stern close to the rocky wall. Then snatching up my weapons, with a bound I swung myself upon the flattened shelf, and with my feet thrust off, with all my might, the puny bark into the hell of waters. There let it drift about, as heaven ordains. Thus am I here, delivered from the might of the dread storm, and man, more dreadful still. Fisherman. Tell, the Lord has manifestly wrought a miracle in thy behalf. I scarce can credit my own eyes. But tell me, now, whither you purpose to betake yourself? For you will be in peril should the viceroy chance to escape this tempest with his life. Tell. I heard him say, as I lay bound on board, his purpose was to disembark at Brunnen, and, crossing Schwytz, convey me to his castle. Fisherman. Means he to go by land? Tell. So he intends. Fisherman. Oh, then, conceal yourself without delay. Not twice will heaven release you from his grasp. Tell. Which is the nearest way to Arth and Quesnacht? Fisherman. The public road leads by the way of Steinen, but there's a nearer road, and more retired, that goes by Lowers, which my boy can show you. Tell gives him his hand. May heaven reward your kindness. Fare ye well. As he is going, he comes back. Did not you also take the oath at Rubli? I heard your name, methinks. Fisherman. Yes, I was there, and took the oath of the Confederacy. Tell. Then do me this one favor, speed to Berglund. My wife is anxious at my absence. Tell her that I am free, and in secure concealment. Fisherman. But whither shall I tell her you have fled? Tell. You'll find her father with her, and some more, who took the oath with you upon the Rutli. Bid them be resolute, and strong of heart, for Tell is free and master of his arm. They shall hear further news of me ere long. Fisherman. What have you, then, in view? Come, tell me frankly. Tell. When once 'tis done, 'twill be in every mouth. Exit. Fisherman. Show him the way, boy. Heaven be his support. Whatever he has resolved, he'll execute. Exit.